FOXES, 1980, was a cult classic about a group of rebellious teenage girls growing up in the 1970s. But behind the glitzy portrayal of youth and freedom, a darker truth lurked. From near-death experiences on set to the emotional toll it took on its young cast, this film wasn't just about rebellion. It almost cost some lives. Stick around to uncover 20 shocking facts about FOXES that will change how you see it forever. Fact 1. The near-fatal stunt gone wrong. One of the most dangerous scenes in FOXES involved a high balcony jump that nearly ended in disaster. The stunt coordinator made a critical miscalculation, putting the cast, including Jodie Foster, in grave danger. The jump was far higher than originally planned, and when Foster landed, she twisted her ankle severely. She was lucky to escape with just an injury, but the incident could have been far more tragic. It serves as a chilling reminder of the risks actors take. Fact 2. Jodie Foster's emotional breakdown. At just 17 years old, Jodie Foster was pushed to her emotional limits while filming FOXES. The intense and often heartbreaking nature of her role, coupled with the demanding schedule, took a toll on her mental health. Foster later admitted to having a breakdown on set, overwhelmed by the pressure to deliver such a raw performance. The emotional strain was amplified by how much her character mirrored her own personal struggles, making it difficult to separate fiction from reality. The experience left a lasting impact on Foster, changing her view of Hollywood and her career. Fact 3. A hidden, banned scene FOXES. Originally featured a scene so graphic and violent that it was removed before the final cut. In this intense moment, the girls confront a local gang in a brutal encounter that pushed the boundaries of what audiences could stomach. The scene was deemed too disturbing for mainstream audiences, with some fearing it could spark international bans. As a result, it was permanently cut from the film. While it remains lost to history, the rumored contents of the scene continue to fuel the film's dark, mysterious legacy. Fact 4. The director's intense approach. Adrian Lyne, known for his relentless and demanding directing style, pushed the cast to their limits. He often insisted on shooting scenes with minimal rehearsal, aiming to capture raw, unfiltered performances. This approach was particularly taxing for Jodie Foster, who found herself facing moments of intense emotional distress. Foster later described the experience as overwhelming, as the director's focus on authenticity forced her to delve deeply into her character's struggles. Lyne's methods created powerful performances, but they came at a heavy personal cost for the young actress. Fact 5. The cast's uncomfortable wardrobe choices. The wardrobe choices for FOXES were not only revealing, but often uncomfortable. The costume department intentionally selected outfits that pushed the boundaries of what was acceptable for young actresses. These clothing choices were meant to enhance the rebellious nature of the characters, but they also made the actresses feel vulnerable and exposed. The pressure to wear these outfits, combined with the emotional intensity of their roles, added another layer of discomfort to the already grueling production. Fact 6. A life-changing party night off-screen. The cast immersed themselves in a party culture that mirrored their on-screen rebellion. One infamous night at a Hollywood mansion blurred the lines between reality and fiction. Jodie Foster, still a teenager, was allegedly introduced to the excesses of fame: drugs, alcohol, and casual hookups. The night marked a turning point for Foster, as she was thrust into the wild, unpredictable side of Hollywood. It would leave a lasting impact on her both personally and professionally. Fact 7. A dangerous highway stunt. In one of the film's most iconic sequences, Jodie Foster was required to drive at high speed down an empty highway. The stunt was filmed without safety precautions, and Foster later admitted she was terrified for her life. The high-risk scene added to the already dangerous atmosphere on set, amplifying the reckless edge the film portrayed. Foster's fear during the stunt was real, showing the dangerous reality of some of the movie's most thrilling moments. Fact 8. On-set jealousy and tensions. Behind the scenes of FOXES, there was more drama than just what appeared on screen. A love triangle developed between two of the cast members, which created palpable tension during filming. Their real-life rivalry impacted their on-screen chemistry, with moments of awkwardness between them. The tension affected not only their performances, but also the overall atmosphere on set, making an already intense production even more strained. Fact 9. The partying didn't stop after filming. After filming wrapped, the cast didn't leave the wild behavior behind. Some of the younger actresses, including Jodie Foster, continued to indulge in the same chaotic partying lifestyle their characters exhibited on screen. The carefree and reckless nature of the film bled into their real lives, with late-night parties and substance use becoming a regular occurrence. The aftermath of this lifestyle left long-term consequences, both personally and professionally, for the cast. Fact 10. Director's obsession with realism. Adrian Lyne's obsession with authenticity pushed the cast into raw, real emotions. He instructed them to improvise emotional breakdowns with no script direction, forcing them into vulnerable states. For Jodie Foster, this approach left her visibly shaken. Lyne's relentless pursuit of realism blurred the line between their characters and personal struggles, leaving lasting emotional scars. Fact 11. The unseen impact on Foster's career. FOXES marked a pivotal moment in Jodie Foster's career, but its emotional toll made her reconsider future roles. The intensity of the film led Foster to distance herself from similar projects, choosing more controlled, less emotionally demanding work. The scars from filming shaped her career for years. Fact 12. The failed ending that could have changed everything. The original script of FOXES had a much darker ending for Jodie Foster's character, Jeannie. It was more tragic, aligning with the film's raw tone. However, filmmakers chose a hopeful conclusion instead. Foster later believed the original ending was more authentic, showing the true cost of rebellion. Fact 13. The real meaning of rebellion. While FOXES depicted teenage rebellion, it mirrored real-life struggles for the cast. Off-screen, many actors were caught in a whirlwind of drugs, alcohol, and promiscuity. The film's portrayal of rebellion blurred with reality, leading some to question whether its message was a warning or a glorification of excess. Fact 14. The impact of the film's failure. Despite its cult status, FOXES was a box office failure. Its controversial themes of drug use, promiscuity, and teenage angst were too much for mainstream audiences. The backlash, particularly against Jodie Foster's portrayal of a troubled teen, impacted her early career, forcing the cast to face Hollywood's harsh realities. Fact 15. An unseen bond of friendship turned sour. During filming, Jodie Foster developed a close bond with a co-star, and their friendship was central to the movie's dynamic. However, as their careers began to skyrocket, the pressures of Hollywood took a toll on their relationship. The overwhelming nature of fame and the tension of the industry caused their once strong friendship to sour. Fact 16. The constant fear of censorship. FOXES was often under the microscope due to its controversial content. At one point, the film's sexual content and themes of drug use became targets for censorship. The cast and crew were repeatedly told that the film might never make it to certain international markets, adding a layer of stress to an already volatile production. Fact 17. on-set hazing and pressure. Some of the younger cast members were subjected to a sort of hazing by the older crew, with certain pranks and jokes crossing the line. The intensity of the film made some of the humor on set feel more like bullying, with many feeling the need to prove themselves in order to fit in. Fact 18. A director's reluctance to step in. As the tension on set grew, Adrian Lyne's hands-off approach became more of a liability. He allowed certain actions to go unchecked, particularly when it came to the more adult content. The lack of intervention made some actors feel abandoned, with no one protecting them from the darker side of the production. Fact 19. Real-life influences on Foster's character. Foster's portrayal of Jeannie was heavily influenced by her own teenage experiences, something that made her portrayal feel even more authentic. However, it was also a double-edged sword, as it forced Foster to confront personal demons she wasn't fully prepared to face. Fact 20. The unseen psychological toll on the cast. The psychological toll on the cast members was immense. Some reports claim that the relentless pace, intense emotional scenes, and the toll of fame led to long-lasting effects on their mental health. Foster and others struggled to find a balance between their characters and their real lives, often blurring the lines in ways they hadn't anticipated. FOXES, 1980, wasn't just a rebellious film about troubled teens. It was a production fraught with near-death experiences, emotional breakdowns, and a stark look at the darker side of Hollywood. The truth behind the film's making is far more intense than anything that ended up on screen. From near-fatal stunts to a toxic work environment, FOXES will forever be remembered not just for its cult status, but for the sacrifices its cast made along the way. If you were shocked by these revelations, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Want to learn about another iconic film's hidden secrets? Let us know in the comments.